Okay, on today's show, a big well-known company axes 1,700 staff. Brilliant timing, eh? OAPs are up in arms and revolting against a forced fee, and Tesco appears to be giving its loyal customers a virtual kick in the gonads. Let's begin. The article says that delivery giant Just Eat has announced that it is to axe 1,700 jobs as it ceases to employ its delivery riders and drivers. Instead, it will use gig economy workers to deliver food within the UK, as opposed to the hybrid system of employees and self-employed workers, despite strong comments by the chief executive against the gig economy. But not only that, a further 170 people working in Just Eat's operational department are also impacted. Delivery employees have been given 6 weeks' notice with pay, and it is understood office staff will begin the process of redundancy and may be moved to other parts of the business. While the company could not provide Sky News with a number of delivery drivers and riders it uses in the UK, it did say employees were only a small part of its overall delivery operations and only operated in certain parts of 6 UK cities. The job cuts come after the company saw a 9% slump in customer numbers last year as diners returned to pubs and restaurants. A spokesman said that Just Eat UK is reorganising and simplifying its delivery operation as part of an ongoing goal of improving efficiency. There will be no impact to the service provided to partners and customers. But of course, what they can't be considering, apart from the crappy timing that is, that short-term employees are, let's just say, more likely to ring in sick compared to a dedicated employee who has the assurance that he'll be in the job for a long time if he so chooses to. And that is the problem with short-term contracts. And I'm not saying they're all like that. I mean, there probably are people who do the job properly and hopefully may be able to beg Just Eat to keep their job. But it's not a really good look for them, is it really? Especially right now in a cost of living crisis. And of course, I don't know about you, but whenever I ring up for a takeaway, I'd want someone reliable delivering it, not someone who thinks, well, I'm only here for a little while, I'll just sit and chat with my mates and just deliver your order when I feel like it. And I'm sure they'll probably go the 0-hour contracts route if they're certainly not doing that already, which to be honest can be quite worrying for the employee, can't it, if they don't get any work that particular week. And whilst it says they are getting rid of self-employed delivery people as well, to be honest, I don't think they should have done the whole self-employed thing altogether. They should have took them on as a dedicated employee, because that's just the thing that companies sometimes use to get around the system, isn't it? Oh, we're not going to take you on properly because we don't want to have to pay holiday pay or pension or national insurance, so we'll just take you on as self-employed instead, and you can fill in a tax return every year and save us a load of money in the process. And something like that just screams of dodging employer responsibilities, doesn't it? The article says that Tesco customers are not pleased with the latest news as a supermarket giant announced it's cutting the value of Clubcard reward scheme for millions of Brits. From June the 14th, points will be worth twice their value when cashed in rather than the 3 times that they are now. The scheme enables shoppers to collect points at Tesco and exchange them for vouchers. Jason Murray, one of their customers, said that the perks offered by Tesco's Clubcard were the only reason he shopped there. He told the BBC, "I don't quite think they understand how much of an attraction their Clubcard is to their customers." Tesco's Chief Customer Officer, Alexandra Bellini, I hope we pronounced that right, said the move was to make sure it can provide customers with exciting rewards and keep product prices low. She also claimed the company was extending the time period of Clubcard rewards would be valid for up to 12 months, and this would give shoppers an opportunity to use the higher value before the changes come in. The grocer first introduced Clubcard in 1995, and within a year, customers were spending 28% more in their stores. Well, you know, of course, I could be wrong, and please correct me in the comments if I am, but I actually thought Tesco's made millions, or maybe even hundreds of millions of pounds each year, so surely increasing the length of their rewards probably wouldn't have been a problem for them. And therefore, surely keeping the 3 times reward scheme would go along the same lines, wouldn't it? But of course, that's just the way things seem to be going nowadays, don't it? You go into the shop, you look at the item and think, oh no, it's about 3 times as much as I paid 2 weeks ago. But it's just lucky I got my loyalty card or club card or Asda points or whatever, because I can save about 3p. Admittedly, whilst the discounts aren't that small, it does scream of companies just raking in the profits but giving less rewards. It's just kind of a bit of a kick in the gonads at the moment, isn't it? Especially during now, in the middle of a cost of living crisis going on, which is surely the last thing anyone needs. I mean, are companies out there just trying to make themselves look less appealing to customers or something like that? The prices that rewards cost, like family days out or 3 months membership at Disney Plus or something like that, may have increased for Tesco, and yes, obviously not a charity case, are they? They're a business, but still, you would have thought on this, their incentive to get people through the door, that they would have just swallowed any price increase that they have to pay. It does make me wonder, though, if their Clubcard prices are making more people sign up to their Clubcard rather than the deals, because they used to once upon a time just lower prices for everyone in store regardless if you had a club card or not. And a little while ago, I can't remember how long ago it was, maybe a year or two, they appeared to try to tout lower prices as one of their benefits of having a club card, which meant loads of people signed up, and I'm guessing they got all of our details as a result. Personally though, I don't care if Tesco's knows that I have to buy extra large condoms, but some people will care that Tesco's knows their details and what they're buying, therefore won't sign up to the club card and will miss out on any discounts or rewards offered. So in some ways, especially now in the middle of a cost of living crisis, they kind of got us over a barrel, aren't they? And kind of cutting our legs off as a result by sort of making the benefits look less appealing, by basically making us use a third more points to get our chosen reward or deal or whatever it is. And yes, obviously they're not a charity case, they're a business at the end of the day, but you would have thought that they could do a little bit more and therefore should be increasing offers to help people out a bit and therefore probably get more people through the door. Well, I guess let's just escape them. The article says that pensioners are driving an increase in TV licence evasion rates. Analysis shows the proportion of viewers failing to pay the £159 annual charge went up by 1.3% in the course of a year, according to the House of Commons research. It said the main driver for the jump was the free licence for the over 75s being scrapped. The Silver Voices campaign group said the documents show the scale of the revolt by older pensioners against the licence fee is bigger than previously thought. A new analysis by the organisation claims up to 357,000 older people are resistant paying and more than 100,000 higher than previously believed. Director Dennis Reed is calling on the BBC to reinstate the free TV licences for pensioners. He said instead of sending barrages of threatening letters to over 75s addresses they no longer keep, the BBC should respond to the resolution and strength of feelings shown by senior citizens by reopening discussions with Silver Voices on ways to resolve this long-running dispute. The Commons research briefing said that the BBC estimates the evasion, that's that word again, rate across the general population increased from 7.58% in 2021 to 8.93% the following year. The BBC estimates that a 1 point reduction in evasion rate amounts to an extra £42 million in revenue. The corporation sparked a furious backlash when free TV licences for most over 75s were scrapped in August 2020. Have the BBC ever heard that in this country you are innocent until proven guilty? So that word evasion really gets my goat, because they're suggesting that everyone is just watching live TV and doing whatever for them to actually need a TV licence, when in fact a lot of people nowadays don't watch live TV or the BBC, so therefore don't actually require a TV licence at all, especially if they're not watching BBC iPlayer or doing anything else that they would deem necessary to require a TV licence. So it's not evasion at all, BBC, and therefore the emphasis is on them to prove that someone is doing what they shouldn't be doing, not the poor person who's sitting indoors and probably getting mountains of TV licence letters when they might not actually require a TV licence at all. And this whole thing is outdated, isn't it? Nowadays, in 2023, we shouldn't even be required to pay the forced TV licence fee, which, by the way, is going up to £172 next year because of the deal they made with the government a few years ago when they froze a TV licence for 2 years, which quite a lot of us thought that, yes, up yours, BBC, we're doing well, we've got it frozen now, is all over. But actually the BBC has kind of pulled off a bit of a sneaky deal there, because even though they did get their 2-year freeze, they've basically said within that deal that the TV licence will be going up by inflation every year from now on. So it's 172 next year. Who knows what it could be the year after? Maybe 200 or £199.99, as I said before. It's just absolutely ridiculous, especially when nearly every other streaming service out there, like Disney Plus, Netflix, Now TV, don't put their prices up by 13 odd quid a year, every year, which if they're going by inflation at the current rate, I guess the BBC could kind of do. Unless, of course, they're feeling charitable and decide they're going to be on the side of the people and not too much, to be honest. I think I've got much chance as that as going on a date with Amanda Holden. I personally think that the government needs to do something and somehow renegotiate that current deal with the BBC, especially as the BBC's Royal Charter Protection is due to expire in 2027, unless of course it gets renewed, but hopefully there's a strong possibility that that isn't going to happen, and therefore the government may have one up on the BBC in any renegotiations that would take place. And also, if the BBC's going to put up their TV licence every year, that surely is just going to encourage hundreds, maybe thousands of people to cancel their TV licence every day, every week, every month, which will hopefully make the BBC realise that they really do need to stop raising their prices. Because let's face it, their greed could be their downfall, and if anything, it would make them look really good if they went to the advert or subscription route first, adverts preferably of course. That way everyone could watch them without paying, and the only people that would be paying are businesses who want to advertise. And yes, of course, you're bound to get people who say something like, "Oh really, well I do not like watching adverts, oh I hate the Smug one." Oh really? Well in that case, does that mean that you only watch the BBC and don't actually watch anything on any other channel at all? To be honest, I think you're talking a load of rubbish if you're saying that's the case. But then of course, you know, I could be wrong. At the end of the day though, the BBC really does need to cave in and fall on their sword and reintroduce the free TV licence for the over the 75s, because they surely can't say that they haven't got the money to do it, especially when they will soon be getting a lot more coming in. And speaking about money, wait until you see this video with what Jeremy Hunt, possibly spelt with a silent C, is planning to do, which will no doubt pee off a lot of people. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.